standing here. It feels,
We recognize at the end of the movie is like not necessarily funny, and so when Jay and I walk out,
What was the first?
whoa! I'm telling you, the angle difference between where I pointed and where you showed up. We're looking at like a good 23 degrees. That's you. That's where we were. But go ahead, because you stood up. Clearly, you were gonna. No matter where I pointed, you were going.
So sorry. What was the?
RV trip to New Orleans and recreate the book Confederacy of Dunces. And then we did that and we shot it. And midway through we thought, you know what this is missing? It needs a parody. Let's also make it a parody of the talented Mr. Ripley. And so our original script and movie that we shot with money from the Canadian government, we shot that movie for 70 days, 70 production days, and then completely scrapped because we were worried that a Confederacy of Dunces, talented Mr. Ripley movie would just be too marketable. And so we pivoted to this more arty, esoteric, Back to the Future, beat for beat ripoff. Most exciting thing to shoot?
I remember what we were pretty excited about when we wrote that I was going to shoot my band member in the head.
Oh my God!
Which we did backwards, because believe it or not, we had the footage of Jay running away from the cops at that Drake press conference. We had that first. We didn't know what he was running for. But Drake's bodyguard had just been shot by one of Kendrick's boys, one of your guys, not one of our guys. We're gonna get revenge, don't worry. Drake's got a long plan. Kendrick walked right into his trap. And so, yeah, Kendrick got Drake's boy, and that...
I'm responsible for this, right? In the other dimension,
Well,
somehow.
it was because you were dressed as Famous Jay.
Yeah, I was dressed
and
as Famous
you, and you
Jay.
looked like $1 million, and
It also helped getting through the police tape, because I
you
showed
looked
up.
so good.
And I looked,
They thought this guy deserves to be on the set, on the scene of the crime.
I was leaning out the van. I was like, we're press. And the police were like, you can't go past here. Like, where's your credentials? And I hear a whisper. I think it was Jared in the back of the van. Independent press. I was like, we're independent press. And he goes, oh, just go right on in. Just go right on in. Okay?
And then we didn't know what he was running for, but it looked so good, having Jay just run away.
We did this, by the way, originally, if any web series fans are out there, when episode 8, I think it is, The Burn, and I end up burning that person's house down.
Oh, yes.
For a reason I can't remember, it was just great footage, and we were just obsessed with being voyeuristic idiots back then. So we're shooting a fire, and they were like, okay, pan over to Jay, he's guilty of this, and then we wrote the episode to that. So this is just that same trick again.
And from a writing point of view, if there are any filmmakers out there, it seems like, oh, this is a stupid or almost immature way to approach filmmaking. I can't tell you how easy it makes things when not only do you know where you're going to go, where you have the shot of what it is that this is going to become, because you'd think it would limit you, but it actually opens up so many amazing possibilities, because we had this amazing footage where you see Jay running away, we're like, oh my God, we have this, and then you and your team find a way to justify such a great shot in reverse, and it just makes it, I find that so much of the issue, I shouldn't say the issue, the big challenge with filmmaking is actually marshaling the energy, you know this, and so finding excuses to create energy for you and your team to be like, no, we have to get this right because of X, Y, and Z. Take every one of those chances you can get, because they're worth so much more than money. And by getting that one arguably stupid shot of Jay, which we could have cut, it wound up creating the whole movie backwards, because then Jay has to shoot the guy, and because he shoots the guy, we need to figure out, well, why does he take the gun off the wall? Oh, that's because Matt and him have a routine where Jay loves playing with these toy
This
guns.
becomes our favorite thing to do.
And it just keeps going back and back and back and back, and it winds up giving a kind of richness to the whole story that unlocks all these other doors for you.
Yeah.
But you can only do that if you're funded by the Canadian government, able to shoot 200 days, you shoot a whole other movie, throw it in the garbage.
And don't work on anything else for like a
For
year.
years.
Yeah. There was a couple references that I did, like some Bernard Herrmann stuff too, but the trick is, you know, if there's any musicians out there that like to talk lingo, is the octatonic scale. The diminished scale. There we go.
One guy.
I wait every Q&A for that one guy. The octatonic scale is like just basically a toolkit of that sort of like classic Hollywood sound where these chords stack on each other infinitely, where you can just jump around, and it becomes this playground where you, once you unlock that, you just go, oh my God, I'm Alan Silvestri right now. And then you develop your motifs and you do a traditional film score. But it was the most exciting part about scoring this, because at first,
Interview, I think, from the web series days, Matt, you said that you didn't think that people age 40 or older could be
Yes,
funny.
I hear about this all the time. Yes.
Do you,
it's really coming back to bite you.
now,
I knew it would at the time. He's talking about an interview where I'm sitting on a beanbag chair being interviewed by some film students. I myself am an undergraduate film student.
Could I have predicted that?
I would have become one of those ossified hacks? No! But now I am! So shut up!
Next question. Over here, the white.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of your projects combine, live action on the street stuff with scripted moments. And
The RV, which, I mean, clearly we just rebuilt the apartment. That's not just to be cute. That's because we know that we're going to be able to solve the narrative problems that we create for ourselves by shooting in random locations, like the CN Tower, Queen Street, whatever. We will be able to solve those in these controlled living room environments. And so it's just about that system where, because we shoot for so long and because we aren't married to the story at all, we're willing to change anything for any reason. It means that all of our external locations are considered things where anything can happen, where Jay and I have vague goals, but whatever happens.
The vague goals really help. And we
It's
get
huge.
better at the vague goals going into the real situations, like when we go in to Canadian Tire to talk to that libertarian. He was somebody who just came upon us in that moment. Like it was like we were lucky that he just turned the corner, and we knew that our goal was we were there to. And the stuff that he was saying, even like that didn't make it in the movie, hope that you get to see it in the deleted scenes, because
He had a lot to say.
He had a lot to say. He had a lot of political ideas.
He really did. He was worried. Well, I won't even get into it. But he became a friend. He came and did the Q&A with us at the Toronto Film Festival.
Yep.
It was a magical moment. But that's the secret, is that you have these anchor scenes where, in our case, it's just two actors, and we can make anything narratively make sense in reverse. And we just fix it with those scenes. And so then, I'll give you a pitch perfect example of when we went to go shoot something, and we went, oh my God, this whole movie just completely changed. So we had already shot a whole bunch of stuff with Jay and I inside the Sky Dome, where we get onto the field. I make this announcement in front of a real crowd of people. Like, we were in, and we shot that first, before we went into the CN Tower, and here's why. We were expecting that security guard to tell us to get fucked. We thought that he was going to be like, why do you have parachutes on? And that was going to be it. We were going to get thrown out. But not only does he not mention the parachutes, he's so fixated on these wire cutters, and then eventually lets me in with them. And so in that moment, Jay and I are in the CN Tower. Jared's also snuck in the camera, and we're like, okay, here we go. I guess now this is the part of the plan that we do. And that kind of thing, although that's the best example of it, it would happen more or less every single time.
Yeah.
Some little change. Next question. Way the very, very back.
Yes, this question is for Matt. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, at first I thought it was going to be a joke, but I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay. In turn, so for this movie,